So I played this game last night, and this is one of my games for the road to 2000 for Rapid on chess.com. Generally, I play in bed, and this is honestly not a good thing because I fall asleep. That's the reality. I was black, and my opponent was white. Okay, so
Opening with the queen's pawn controls the center and usually leads to a more positional development of the pieces.
my opponent opens with d4. I play e6.
e6 prepares for a quick d5 pawn push and allows the dark squared bishop to develop.
In reality, I played e6 because I didn't know what to play. Uh, at this point, he could have played e4 and we would have transposed into a French defense, or he could have done something else, like knight f3, to see what I'm doing, you know. As always, guys, I was studying maybe 6 months ago Veninzo Indian, in the sense that I saw a couple of lines, and then I stopped doing it. All my fault, right?
c4 gains space on the queen side in the center and prepares to develop the knight to c3. e6 supports the d5 pawn and allows the dark squared bishop to develop.
Here he says e6 supports the d5 pawn, but in reality I didn't play e6, I played knight f6. So this is the game review at chess.com. Clearly there are some problems.
Knight c3 develops the knight to fight for the e4 square and to control d5.
So I played b4, bishop b4, bishop d2.
Castling kingside is a great way to protect your king and develop.
Now I'm just doing what everybody should do, which is in the opening you want to castle, you want to bring out all your pieces, and that's it, right?
Developing the knight and increasing influence in the center.
Because the game review says now we are better controlling these two squares.
This prepares your bishop for development.
And now from a possible Ninzo Indian we have gone into a Queen's Indian, right, with this kind of pawn formation. But notice that is not finished here, because by the middle game I think I will try to enter in a kind of hedgehog formation, and I think my opponent let me do it.
This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure.
This is the pawn chain he's referring to.
You fianchetto your bishop, placing it on a powerful diagonal.
And that's the reason why I play b6, right? So in reality, it's not that the game review must tell you why I put the bishop there, because if I play b6, there is a reason.
Moving from its starting spot, the bishop gets involved in the game. This move is okay, but not what I would have played.
I think the engine would have played something d5 because they always want to challenge the center. Notice what I'm doing. Here I'm trying to do this, and this is the edge of the pawn formation. So I'm changing the game, and my opponent was 1700 or a little more, 1750, I don't know. And at this point I was 1770, I think. Well, the thing is, at a certain point you go just, also when you win like 7 points, which is nothing, honestly. And to reach 2000 at 7 points every time, it's a lot of games, right?
Both kings are castled and ready for the middle game. This move activates your knight to strengthen control over the center.
Okay, and here I nearly finish my my development.
This creates space for the king to move in case it is attacked.
I think he played this move to avoid something like this. I don't know.
Not the best move, but not bad either.
Again, what the engine doesn't understand, that is maybe incorrect from an engine point of view, is that I have in my mind a certain pawn structure I want to achieve. And so that's it. But why I'm showing you this game? Because you will see the power of the sun, let's say. What do I mean as the power of the sun is when two bishops are illuminating and lighting a certain path over the board. It's incredible.
This misses an opportunity to kick a bishop. This allows the opponent to force doubling of pawns.
Honestly, if he played this, I wouldn't have brought the bishop back, because when I lose it, the only way is to attack, right? To take it. So I don't know. But he says this is a mistake. Okay.
You overlooked an opportunity to force doubling of pawns.
For him, I should have taken here. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna take. Why? Because again, I have an idea of what I want to do, right? So the thing is, Lasker told you, it's better to have a plan. I think it was Lasker, but I'm not sure. Better to have a plan than no plan at all. It depends. If the plan is bad, I don't know. Maybe it's better no plan at all. But in any case, here I did have a plan, an idea that I was following, and it wasn't to take on c3, which maybe denies why did you put it on before, because it doesn't make any sense, right? Yeah, thinking about it now, yes, it doesn't make any sense. But when you try to develop and put your pieces in the opponent territory, not in your territory. Because if you put it in your opponent territory, it will be stronger.
This is not the right idea.
Okay, and this is crazy, right? This guy is 1700 or a little more, and he's returning back. Why is he returning back? Because he wants to trap my bishop. But obviously I'm not gonna let him do that. So luckily, because I ask myself the question, why did he play that move, right?
You prevented your opponent from being able to tactically win a bishop.
So it seems this move worked.
The bishop is kicked by a pawn and must now move or be captured. You found a safer square for your bishop. Right on target.
And now we have another problem here. And the problem is, what should I do as black? Why? Because there is a pawn break at a certain point, but why would I do it? What do I gain out of it, right? So that's the thing that one must understand and think about it in this position. Now, keep in mind that I was doing that kind of hedgehog formation that is not hedgehog anymore because I put this d5.
You strike at the center with a pawn, taking away space from your opponent. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. You trade off equal material. Recaptures. With this move, all your pieces are finally in action.
Okay, why do I play rook a8? Because the target is the queen d1 once I take and we open this side, okay?
This is a fair move.
He also thinks that he wants to do something against my king. That's why he played it here.
You had a better option, but this is not bad.
Well, I don't know if you saw, guys, what I did now. I'm trying to give checkmate here, okay? So I'm creating a battery with the bishop and the queen. That's what I'm really doing here. and the fact that this rook is here, so the rook are connected, for me is perfect. Again, watch these two bishops, okay?
One of the best moves.
Now the rook is here and is indirectly attacking the queen e7, so I do have to move it, okay?
You missed an opportunity to offer an equal trade of pieces.
Yeah, because I don't want to trade.
There were worse moves, but also something much better.
This is interesting, but in fact, yeah, it's not a strong move.
This offers a trade to your opponent.
And by the way, I think here.
The game was close to equal, but now black has the advantage.
No, here I was still awake, because at a certain point there is a move that I was totally asleep for like 5 minutes, and it was very funny.
You're putting your king's safety at risk with that push. You'll never be able to move that pawn back. This leads to losing a knight.
And this is a blunder, okay? Why it's a blunder? Because white didn't solve anything with this exchange, and I took, right? Let's see.
This is the way to win a knight.
Yeah, because where does this go? Here he can't, here he can't, only here can, and so...
This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure.
And this is obviously, I don't know, it says it's a good move. To me, it doesn't seem a good move. I don't know.
This wins a knight.
Why did I go here? Because, again, my idea is to give checkmate here, right? So I just need to find a way now to remove any defender of this square, and that's it.
This makes a passed pawn.
No, this make a loose pawn. Not pass at all. That's a dead pawn, right? Because what do you think I'm going to do? I just told you. If there is no defender here, like an n3, knight on f3, I'm going to give checkmate, so I don't care.
Taking that pawn will win material for you after the follow-up trades. This moves the knight to safety.
Okay, this move is still defending here, but again, what am I doing? I'm trying to remove the defender, right? So what moves remove a defender?
You win the knight since it has to defend against checkmate.
Boom. And that's the problem now. He cannot move, because if he moves, I give a checkmate, right? But what can he do? He can't do nothing in reality, I think.
This overlooks an opportunity to increase a bishop's scope by moving it to a better square.
So, okay, he thought solve this like that, but I took.
You captured a free knight. This is the strongest option.
And for him, this is the strongest option. And I don't know, it doesn't make much sense. I don't know if it was like here that I fell asleep. Again, I tell you guys, I fell asleep for 6 minutes. And thank whoever this was a 15 minutes game, otherwise I would have lost for time, right?
Yes, this is the way.
Again, I need to open the diagonal so I can give checkmate. As you can see, I continue with that, right?
White develops further.
This is a problem because it's not attacking this, but it's attacking my queen. So obviously I must solve the problem right away. And I did it like this.
You are threatening to force eventual checkmate. This allows the opponent to force eventual checkmate.
And at this point...
Your opponent has no escape. You can force a checkmate with the correct moves. This move wins a queen. This blocks the check from an opposing queen.
Well...
You're continuing down the road to checkmate.
This
wins a queen.
Can you see what I played here? Because here practically I played a move which blocks this king from escaping, and which will give checkmate in in a move or so. I played this,
The rooks can see each other now, allowing them to provide mutual defense.
and this now, what did he do? He practically blocks the king from escaping. So the game is won practically, because he takes here, and of course I play queen h2, that is why they call me Mr. Checkmate. So I hope you enjoyed this game. I wanted to find...
There were worse moves, but also something much better.
I wanted to find which one was that I took like 5 minutes or 6. I think it was this.
This offers a trade to your... The game was close to equal, but now you're putting your king's safety up. This leads to losing a knight. This is the way to win a knight.
Okay, so it's when I played the d takes e4 that I took that knight, that I was sleeping for 5 minutes. That was the move. That's kind of funny. And I was dreaming. That is the thing. I even had a little dream. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, this kind of thing, you see it only in few games. One famous game, I think, was Lasker with white, that was attacking with the 2 bishops on the king side. Another very famous game was played by Tarash as black, with the bishops in this direction attacking the white king side. Once more, thank you for watching. See you next time. This was an episode of my road to 2000 in chess.com for Rapid.